Let me show you some tips and tricks for Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 8. So the first thing that I want to show you is the Flex Mode panel. If you open pretty much any app, you can actually fold your phone a little bit, and then in the bottom right corner you should be able to find this flip icon. So we can tap over here to activate the touchpad. And now you can actually use it to, of course, use the cursor that we have on the screen. You can actually double tap as well, for example, or actually you can tap once in order to select something. You should also be able to scroll up and down. Over here we have the scrolling panel, and besides that we have a couple of additional options that are available over here at the bottom. Like, for example, we can take a screenshot, or you can just return, of course, back to the normal view. Now, of course, it is possible that you will not see this icon when using Z Flip 8. So in order to fix this, you can go to Settings and proceed to Advanced Features. And then over here, you should be able to find the Flex Mode panel. And in here, you can, of course, make sure that it is enabled. And you also have some additional settings available in here. When using the cover screen, we can access, of course, a couple of different apps. Usually you can just swipe up in order to open the app drawer. And then over here we also have labs, so apps that might work just fine using the cover screen, but there might be some exceptions, which might cause some issues while using specific apps using the cover screen. However, if you want to get more apps into the cover screen, if you want to be able to use more apps, then over here at the bottom you should be able to find the Add Apps button. Usually there's also an information that you have to install Multistar, and if you tap on this button you should be immediately redirected to the Galaxy Store with the Multistar app, and once you install it you should be able to choose whichever apps you want to add to the cover screen. We can add up to 50 apps. And of course, you can only see apps that you already have installed. So if anything is missing, just make sure that you have these specific apps that you want to get on the cover screen, that you have them on your phone. Besides that, of course, we have access to our widgets. Now, in my case, I actually have the airplane mode activated, so let me fix that. In fact, before I actually show you this, I can also go to settings, and over here we have the cover screen customization. So of course in here we have a couple of different cover screen wallpapers and styles that you can apply very easily. And what you can also do is you can tap on the cover screen to, of course, customize it a little bit. Like, for example, the clock, you can add some widgets, you can manage the shortcut. You can also choose to see the battery level as well, so you can show the battery icon over here. And in addition to that, here we can go to widgets in order to manage them. Now, in my case, unfortunately, these widgets seem to be actually broken for some reason, but there we go. This is the one that actually works. What is quite interesting is that you can also find the apps widget, which you can also add over here to the cover screen in the form of a widget, and apparently you can also add your favorite apps. And besides that, of course, we should be able to have a couple of pages with these widgets. It's up to you how many of them you actually want to have, but there we go. If you want to, you can actually have a widget page just with one widget. I'm not sure why my widgets are broken, but definitely they should work in your case. So there we go. As you can see, this is how it looks like. We should be able to switch between these pages quite easily. And as for apps, you can of course choose your favorite apps that you want to use. And there we go. You can easily open them over here without actually going to the app drawer on the cover screen. Now let's move on to a couple of additional things that are available in general on your phone, like for example the Edge panel or the sidebar. Now of course this option is not really this feature is not really completely new. This is something that has been available for the longest time on your Samsung Galaxy smartphones in general. But I still think it's quite worth mentioning this feature, simply because, for one, we have access to the app drawer, so we can easily open any app at any point. Of course, we have access to the sidebar while using any app whatsoever. And besides that, you can, of course, add your favorite apps to the sidebar, so you can have quicker access to specific apps. And by doing so, of course, you won't have to go to the home screen or go to the app drawer in order to open these apps. And also what is quite interesting is that if you press and hold your finger on the app and then drag it outside, then over here, as you can see, we can open the app in the split screen view or in the pop-up view. So this can be quite useful as well. Of course, we also have access to Samsung DeX, which allows you to connect your phone to your TV or external display, and then you have the option to use that additional display or TV, of course, as a mirror. So essentially you can mirror the screen, you can cast the screen from your phone to your other device, or you can use it as an extended display, so you can pretty much have additional space that is of course provided by the Samsung DeX. Now in order to find the Samsung DeX, for example, here in the quick settings panel we have the wireless DeX option, so you can try to connect wirelessly, which can be useful especially for TVs. But also you can go to connected devices in settings, and then here we can find Samsung DeX, where we can choose connected display, for example, if you decide to connect to your TV or external display with a cable. Now, of course, to be able to do so, you need to have a cable that fits both your phone and that other device. Most likely it is going to be HDMI to USB-C cable. But of course, this allows you to, for example, extend the home screen, extend the display, so you can actually do a lot more with the help of your TV, so definitely worth trying it out. Now, there is one trick that I want to show you that can be quite helpful for some of you, I assume. In settings, we can go to notifications, and usually if you go to app notifications and if you try to manage some notifications for specific apps, you will not be able to find many options. You can of course decide if the sound and vibration should be enabled, or if the content should be locked or actually hidden or shown on the lock screen, and so on. However, there is an option that allows you to activate notification categories, and in here you can decide if specific notifications should be enabled or not. So if you would like to disable some notifications from an app of your choice, by default you cannot actually do this, and you have to enable one thing. So we're gonna go back to notification settings. Here, go to advanced settings, and then you should be able to find this option here, manage notification categories for each app. Not only you are now allowed to decide which specific notifications should be sent to you, but also if you go to these categories and if you choose any of these categories, like let's say in messages I'm gonna go to incoming messages, I can also, for example, change the sound. So this means that I can set up specific individual notification sounds for specific notifications on Galaxy Z Flip 8, which of course can be helpful if you want to have that audio clue when you receive a very specific notification from a specific app. So I'm not sure why this option is actually disabled by default. It is enabled on, I think, every other Android smartphone, except for, of course, Samsung Galaxy smartphones. But yeah, thankfully, at least we can turn it back on, so that's at least very helpful in that regard. Now, speaking of notification sounds, if you of course want to change the notification sound, that is not really a problem for many of you, I assume. If you go to sounds and vibration, then of course over here you can choose the notification sound, and then here you can just pick any of these sounds. But if you have a custom sound on your phone's storage that you wish to set as a notification sound, then now it becomes a little bit more complicated, because for some reason we don't have an option in these settings to simply add a notification sound. But as you can see, it is still possible to do so. Now, if you want to set up a custom notification sound, then you need to use the My Files app, which you should be able to find in the app drawer or in the Samsung folder. And then here in the My Files app, you can go to your audio files, and then in here you should be able to press and hold your finger on the sound that you want to set as a custom notification sound. After selecting it, you want to choose the move option, and then in the internal storage you want to go to the notifications folder, and then you want to move your custom sound in here. And then once the audio file is placed in that folder, you can go back to notification sound settings, and then at the top of the list you should be able to find the custom section with your custom sound. Of course, storage space can be very crucial for many people, and sometimes it is pretty hard to keep track of things that you have on your phone. And one thing that can be very useful is simply removing trash from your phone. So usually if you remove something on your Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 8, instead of removing it permanently straight away, it is sent to trash for 30 days. And within those 30 days, you have the option to, for example, restore those deleted files, which can be, of course, useful. But you also have the option to permanently remove those files, which allows you to get more storage. Now, In order to actually quickly access the trash, usually you have to go to, for example, settings or to a specific app that has the trash option. But let's say in this case, we're gonna go to settings, and then we can go to the device care, and then here we have the storage, and then here we have the trash, which of course takes a couple of taps and steps to actually get in here. But what you can do is you can tap on these three dots in the upper right corner, and then here we have add to home screen, and then we can add this icon to the home screen, so you can easily open the trash at any point just by going into the home screen and then by choosing this app. So this can be very helpful, I assume, for some of you. And the last thing that I want to show you, actually a couple of last things, but I think it's just smart to put it in one, because I want to show you some of the call features that we have available on Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 8. To actually find all of them, we need to go to the phone app. Then we can tap on the three dots and you can find them here on the right side or in the upper right corner. And then we're gonna go to settings. And over here in settings, we have, for example, call screening. So call screening allows you to use a call assistant to answer calls and ask the caller who they are, why they are calling you, and just provide any reasons. So you don't actually have to answer the call. You can use the call screening option to get answers. And then, of course, you can decide if you actually want to answer the call or if you just want to reject it. Over here, we also have some additional options, like, for example, automatic screen calls, which allows you to automatically use that feature if someone that is considered to be a spam or scam calls you, or just unknown callers. Over here, we also have the description of these two options, so you can be sure when exactly this option can be used automatically. Besides that, we have the text call option, which allows you to answer calls by simply texting. So even though it is going to be a voice call, you can use the voice assistant that is provided with the text call, and then you can just have a chat. You can actually type whatever you want to say to the person during the call, and then the voice assistant will provide that information that your text, your sentence to them, to the caller. And of course, over here we once again have some additional settings, so be sure to check that out. Now, if you often happen to talk with people who don't speak your language, we have Live Translate for someone like you. So this is pretty much the interpreter, live interpreter for calls. And what is quite interesting with this feature is that you can actually mute yourself, and then you can use a custom voice that we can pick over here. And whatever you say is going to be translated, and then the translation is going to be spoken out loud to that other person during a call. And of course, you can do the same thing for the other person. I mean, whatever they say in their language out loud, their speech can be translated. And of course, you can mute that other person as well, so you can hear just the translation. So, of course, I can understand if that is quite niche, because we don't probably talk too often to those who don't speak our language, but still, at times I think this can be very useful. There is also the call brief option, which allows you to show some information that is related to the person that is calling you. So if you have some events, some plans related to the person that is calling you, if they actually call you, then you might get some information. So over here we can see that we can show events and other information on the call screen when it's relevant to your call. In order to be able to use it, you need to have the personal data intelligence enabled, which you can find in security and privacy settings. So in order to find it, we need to go to settings. Let me actually go back over here. There we go. Now over here we need to go to security and privacy. Then here go to more security settings. I believe it is over here. And I think I'm actually wrong. It might be in more privacy settings. Yeah, it is actually in more privacy settings. Here we have the personal data intelligence. So this is the requirement to be able to use this call brief feature. But I think it's quite a fun feature that is at the same time just a reminder. So if someone calls you, you might get reminded about something that you may have just forgotten, some plans related to them, some events, or just some information. There is also the call captions, which allows you to simply display what the other person is saying to you at the given moment. This is pretty much the transcription of the call in real time. So if you need that extra help to understand what they are saying, this can be, of course, your your feature. I mean the feature for you. And of course we have the direct voicemail. So when you cannot really answer a call at a moment, you can allow the caller to simply leave a voice message to you, or voicemail message actually. And you can send calls to the voicemail, and you can also set calls to automatically go to the voicemail after ringing for a certain amount of time. Over here we have auto send to voicemail, so you can decide after what time the person should be sent to the direct voicemail. And the difference between that and the typical voicemail is that if they are in the direct voicemail, you still have the option to answer the call. So you will send them to the direct voicemail, they will think they just are sent to the voicemail, and they might leave you a message. And if you change your mind and if you decide to actually answer the call, then you have the option to do so, and you can continue the conversation with them. And that is pretty much all that I wanted to show you. I'm pretty sure there is more to unpack over here on the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 8, but I think these are quite fun and interesting tricks and features that are maybe not so obvious for many of you. And that is pretty much it. Leave a like and subscribe.